Hey guys, Target Field Trading here. Today I was going to practice replaying April 18th, 2023. I do not have any market awareness, just to be fully transparent. I'm just trying to learn PATI and Analytica Chart 4. I have some information pulled up over here, cumulative delta, big picture with 30-minute candles with some VWAP information there and some automatic channels drawn. I have some RSI bands on the ES chart over here. I'm about to click play and see how we do. Just to get a jump start on the trading day, we're going to look at the market, see that it's in a general uptrend with a little pullback here. We can see that delta's kind of been up and down, but cumulative delta is negative 2048. We can see that price action is well above the upper band of this RSI, so we may be going into trend mode. Today I'll be using a 12-tick stop loss and 12-tick take profit with 75 minimum balance and 0.35 ratio for calculation. This is playback. It's 8:29. Market's about to open. Looks like it just opened. I think we'll be negative delta right here, so I think I feel good about being in trend mode. There was also a YouTuber that commented on my page. I'll be sure to give him credit. He kind of explained how to look at these bars too as almost like patterns, not necessarily if there's a divergence and if there's chop or if it closed outside of the range, but if there's multiple bars in a row like this, three, like 1, 2, 3, this is a divergence, but it's down. This bar is down, this bar is down with negative delta. He was saying that we should be in trend mode here. So the way they explained it, it was very good. I felt like I understood it, and hopefully it helps us out in being more profitable. Looks like we're getting some imbalances here, but not enough stack to get a fill. Negative delta increasing here, so I still feel good about being in trend mode. So another YouTuber suggested to have the Polarity ATI go in on limit orders. So once there's a trigger of an imbalance, set a limit order in the direction 3 ticks away from where it would have entered. They said that it would prevent fakeouts, but it looks like that one I would have actually gotten filled in that. So for full transparency, I am pausing the replay in order to fix the strategy. I'm actually going in here and I'm going to remove the limit order. Use limit order for entry. And I'll leave this here. And when there is a stacked imbalance now, we will be instantly buying or selling. So full transparency, I have not rewound. I have not changed anything. I have not looked ahead in the market. I'm really trying to do this to where I can get a real sense of how the tool works. I am not cheating. I would only be cheating myself and literally throwing away my own money if I was cheating. So I am trying to make this work. I am going to start the playback again and enable the strategy. I believe we are still going to be in trend mode. We are still seeing multiple negative bars with negative delta. So I'm going to be arming in both directions. It's like cumulative deltas ping-ponging back and forth, going from positive to negative, but it is fairly correlated. Another thing a YouTuber named Trader Dale was explaining was that if delta or cumulative delta is very rapidly rising or very rapidly falling, that price will eventually catch up to delta. So in his interpretation of delta, delta is king. But I believe Connor states that price action is king. So even though this is positive buyers, the bar closed negative. He sees that the price is going negative. Therefore, he thinks that this is more valuable information than this positive delta number. But in areas like this, where you have delta rapidly climbing, the price will end up following the delta because there are buyers that are stepping into the market. This is actually very odd that we're not getting any fills. Seems like a slow morning. I still believe that trend mode is the correct mode. I could be wrong, but also the same individual that was telling me to look for the patterns was also telling me that these absorption zones very near the current price action are more valuable than past absorption. So, for instance, this zone right here is basically blown out because it's too far away. And by too far, I mean like over 2 or 3 candles. So, this would probably be a magnet zone, I think, because of these unfinished auctions, but this would actually be a fairly good absorption zone that was recent and still active, as well as this right here. I believe that these actually might be limit sellers because buys show up on the ask side, aggressive buyers, but also limit sellers show up on the buy side as well, on the ask. So these actually may be limit sell orders that break down once they hit here, they'll pop. It was very confusing learning that also from Trader Dale. Aggressive sellers are on the left-hand side. Aggressive buyers are on the right-hand side. Passive buyers show up on the bid. And passive sellers show up on the ask. In full transparency, I'm actually going to increase this to 2x. This is extremely slow and I can't wait that long. When a trade actually enters, I'll turn it back to 1x so we can evaluate and discuss our options. It looks like some previous volume profile analysis that we performed up here was actually accurate. It looks like it bounced off this level and raised back up. So that's actually good to see congruence there. So taking a look down here, we actually see that delta is rising. Cumulative delta since the session open has rising. Was around 800 to 1,000. Now it's almost 3,000. Price is actually respecting it and following. So we may see a little bit more run up from right here. I'm actually going to check my indicators just to make sure that my volume is set properly. Ratio looks good. Volume looks good. It's very, very weird. 75, 35. 3 stacked. Weird. Alright, playing again. It's really weird that there's not a lot of aggressive buying and selling going on. It's very tame for an open.
Order filled.
Alright, looks like we got filled into a short trade. Let's see how it does. I just changed it to 1x speed. It's looking good so far, but
Target filled.
oh wow, nice. Didn't want to get my hopes up, but it actually filled. So I think we're gonna keep it in trend mode just because the patterns of these candles match what the commenter was saying. I actually worry that this is a short trade past this zone right here. I wonder if it's going to have a hard time getting through that. The individual that I was talking about earlier is actually RK Mascar. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but that person was assisting me and putting timestamps in the comments and kind of explaining everything to try to think of these bars in relation to trend and regression mode as more of like a pattern. So these are 3 down bars. That is more of a pattern. That would be trend mode. These two are very big uh, green delta bars. They are going up together. That's a pattern. These two are going down. That's a pattern. So this would be in trend mode. If it was a zone like this, that user was saying that this would be a good time to arm in regression mode because they're bouncing, they're ping-ponging back and forth in the same channel right here. This is obviously a trend. This would maybe be some regression mode right here. So that actually helped me a lot in visualizing this. It makes sense what they're saying, so hopefully it translates to some better results. But I want to thank them especially for the help. They put a lot of effort into that comment, analyzing the trade and putting the timestamps, so I appreciate it. So price is going down over here. Trying to look at macro events to see if I need to move up my stop loss. Oh, we're actually getting huge imbalances. This might be good. Might leave it here. Ooh, right on the zone. Oh my gosh. Come on. I maybe should have moved it. Looks like we're doing good though. We're actually seeing a huge decrease in delta here. We're up around 3,700 cumulative delta. Now we're down to 1,000. So some pretty bearish behavior here. One thing that I noticed too is Connor said he likes to trade the first 30 minutes of the day. Not sure if that's only strictly because of volatility or because he doesn't want to make mistakes when he's fatigued. I only bring that up because we are approaching the 30-minute mark, so I'm not sure what the correct thing to do is, whether we should call it or continue trying to trade. I had a really bad feeling that this was going to get absorbed and shoot right back up. I think I should have moved my take profit just above this level, especially because it hit it. Actually might do that. Just one. Oops. Just one. That way it doesn't touch that zone again if it gets filled. That would mean bring my stop up too, just to maintain a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. I actually might. Oh,
Target filled.
okay. So, man, right when it hit that zone, it popped right back off of it. I'm not sure if this is going to pass this zone. Oh, it did. It did. Awesome. So if I would have left it alone, it would have filled. But honestly, I feel really good with that. Let's try to do one more and just see how it goes. I still have a little bit of time, so not that bad. The delta, actually, cumulative delta for the session just flipped to negative, and price is going down drastically. The pattern is here as well. 3 down pattern, confirming we should be in trend mode. It's a very, very
Order
interesting
filled.
mindset, or the way that RK Mascar explained that. The fact that you can look at these as patterns versus price action. So we're actually getting some pretty big negative delta here. Price is following it. We're getting a little bit of a retracement, but we're still in the money. And since this is the last trade, I'm not going to be arming the strategy again. I may turn it up to 2x speed just to see if it wins or loses. We're getting a lot of positive delta on this bar. I'm just going to mark this zone just because of the tips that user was stating, only to acknowledge and respect the most recent zones. Negative delta is stepping in. I am on 2x speed, by the way. Getting some weird behavior here. 2, 3, 4. Like the ticks aren't updating with the price. It's kind of weird. It's lagging a little bit. We are getting negative delta. It's flipping back again. We're getting more negative cumulative delta. Price is following it. We actually blew through this zone here. Getting some pretty heavy sell pressure.
Target filled.
Wow. So that is not a bad day. I really hate to get excited about this because this is honestly the first time that I've done this well with the product. If the comment that RK Mascar was explaining is true, this might be a whole new change for all of us. Also, just to reiterate, I had my strategy incorrectly configured. So I was supposed to take the trade immediately off open, and it put in a limit trade, and I missed out on it because it went straight down. So we would actually have had another profitable trade. So looking at the playback, looks like we made $437.50 today. Total commissions $12.54. So we had a realized profit and loss of $424.96. We take a look at our executions. The first trade that we got filled on was a sell. We exited for a profit. Also another sell, exited for a profit. And an additional sell, exited for a profit. Went 3 and 3 on the day today. And if we would have gotten that first trade, we would have been 4 and 0 for the day. So not bad at all. Definitely turned it around from last session. I want to thank RK Mascar again for putting a lot of thought and detail into his comment and explaining with the timestamps with examples. That really helped me visualize what they were trying to explain, and I think it might have clicked for me. I'd like to run a few more tests, obviously, in Sim. If we can continuously make profit on this strategy, I think we may have a viable option for trading Polarity ATI. So thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate your time. I appreciate all the comments. Seriously, it means the world to me. I honestly only expected maybe 1 or 2 people to chime in with some tips, and then I would go back to back testing, but everyone has put in tremendous thought into the comments. I really appreciate the time you've taken to respond. I try to respond and answer questions as best I can. There may be a little bit of delay with work and family and stuff, but I try to get to them as fast as I can. I'm also looking at deploying a website that may have some basic blog posts for tips and tricks. I also would like to do some more videos on setting up Polarity, setting up NinjaTrader, setting up indicators, some tips and tricks that I've learned, and also maybe some basic instructional videos or how-to videos on options and stuff that I wish that I knew when I was first learning. So if anyone has any video ideas, go ahead and leave them in the comments and I'll possibly make a poll and see what everyone is interested in. I am trying to learn a little bit about Forex as well. It looks like there are some Forex contracts that we can take advantage of with the CME top data, which is only $4 a month from NinjaTrader. 6E, I think, is the Euro USD futures. and those actually are a lot more predictable with volume price analysis and order flow analysis. So I think with spreading out our skills and looking at another security, we may be able to assist our polarity trading as well. So thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. Guys and gals, happy trading, and we'll see you on the next one.